Howdy, howdy, carnivores. Hey, today we are coming at you with a cooking video. We are making what I'm calling buffalo porkin strips. It's basically my take on buffalo chicken tenders, only with pork. Seeing as how I don't really care for chicken too much. We're starting with 1.5 pounds of Kirkland bacon and 5 pounds of Costco's pork tenderloin. We're just gonna get this bacon opened up, and we'll get it set off to the side. And the idea here is we're going to take this bacon, we're going to take this pork tenderloin, we're going to get it all chopped up, and we are going to put this bacon and this pork tenderloin. This is quite a bit of meat. This is going to be close to 7 pounds altogether, but we're going to get it cubed up, and then we are going to put it in a blender or food processor, whatever you have, and we are going to make a paste out of this. Now I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch my terrible knife skills. But we're going to go ahead and get this all chopped up, and we are going to get it in the Ninja blender. And the idea here is I got so much meat that I'm going to have to do this in a few parts, and I don't know if the bacon and the pork is going to be, evenly distributed. So I'm just going to get this stuff uh, turned into a paste as much as I can, and then we will mix it more together later to try to get a more even yield between the bacon and the pork tenderloin. Also, on the second go through on mixing, we will add our spices. Now, this is a pretty good carnivore recipe. Other than I did get lazy and I did use some Hidden Valley ranch seasoning in here, because my idea was I wanted to season the meat with Hidden Valley ranch seasoning, because the thing that I'm going for here is I used to like buffalo chicken strips, and then have them tossed in buffalo sauce, and then I would dip them in ranch, and kind of seeing how close I can get to that flavor profile. So my idea here is to get the ranch a little bit into the meat, as well as an egg for a binder. And yeah, here goes the ranch seasoning now. That was about 2 tablespoons in there, plus 1 egg. And we're going to go ahead and mix that up. And the idea is that the ranch flavor will be in the meat. And then when we dip it in the, Frank's Red Hot for the buffalo sauce, that will kind of get, somewhat familiar with the uh, buffalo and ranch sauce that I'm looking for. So we're just getting this all in the blender, adding some ranch and ranch seasoning and an egg for a binder. Get all this mixed up. And then we're going to get it out of here, and we are going to combine it together and put it in a bowl. And then we're going to clean up our work surface here a little bit and get ready for the next step. And the next step is going to be cutting some square sheets of parchment paper and spreading the meat paste out on the parchment paper squares, about a half an inch thick. We're going to cut the parchment paper squares to the correct size for my Ninja 6-in-1 air fryer grill. And the idea is we are going to air fry these and cook them without any breading or anything on them for now, just to kind of give the meat some integrity, so that we can let them cool. We'll cut them into chicken strips, let them cool, and then we will go ahead and put them in an egg dredge and batter them with pork panko so that we can fry them in beef tallow. But right now, as you see, I am spreading it out across the parchment paper. It's a little bit tricky, but trying to get it even. Now, I ended up having enough with the 7 pounds to do this 3 times, so that we will have three kind of meat squares here that we are going to air fry. And I didn't know what temperature, how long to cook it, so we just put it on high. And I did three different types here. I did one at 12 minutes, one at 10 minutes, and one at 8 minutes. And 8 minutes was the winner. 10 was a little bit dry, 8 was perfect, and 12 minutes was just way too dry. But we did get that figured out. And as you see here, I just kind of eyeballed it, but we ended up getting pretty lucky with the parchment paper. It fit just perfect in the air fryer, which is coming up here. That's the Ninja 6-in-1. And here is how it fit in the air fryer. About as good as I could hope for. And it turned out pretty nice. That was actually the 12-minute cycle that I ended up doing, and it was just too much for it, very dry. But as you see on the next two, I knocked the next one down to 10 minutes, which was good, but the 8 minutes was much better. Perfectly cooked and extremely juicy. That was the 12-minute one, and it was just a little overdone for sure. But it was still edible. I still enjoyed it. Now we're going to cut it up, and we are going to cut it into little chicken strips here. And we even take a little bite out of it, and it is tasty. And now we are setting up our pan. We are going to get some tallow in it and get the tallow warming up. We are going to go ahead and put this in fast forward so that you can see this tallow warm up. Doesn't look very appetizing now, but here in a moment, it'll look much better. As it heats up, the oil will clear up pretty nicely and not look so terrible. We have the oil at 420 degrees, which I understand is a little bit hot, but we are not trying to cook the meat. We are just trying to crisp up the pork rinds and get them to set. And so I find that a little bit hotter with the pork panko works better, because if its oil is too cool, it actually becomes a little bit difficult because it soaks into the pork panko and it starts making it soggy. So here I am beating up the pork rinds to make my pork panko. You can buy the pork panko, or you can save $1 and destroy your kitchen with pork crumbs. So I thought that I was going to be saving money by doing this, but not so much. I cut out the parts where everything exploded and went from here to hell and gone. But at any rate, the magic of editing. But we are getting everything put together here, and yeah, this is where I started doing things when I skipped the bag in between that actually blew up, so I did it later that time. And now we're put together our little egg dredge, and we are almost ready to start frying. Now we're going to go ahead and start cracking some eggs and get them into the bowl so we can have our dredge. So we will now start breading the chicken strips. Well, the pork strips, that is. The porken strips, I should say. But all in all, I think it did pretty well. You'll see how they looked and judge for yourself. They could have been, the ones that I cooked a little bit too long, those ones are definitely a little bit drier, but they actually do get a little bit more moist once you fry them in the tallow. And also, I wish I would have had a cooling rack that I could have set these on instead of flat on the surface. I will do have that for next time, but this time I didn't have one. But it worked out pretty well, and all in all, I'm pretty happy with everything. Speed everything up here a little bit for you and kind of get to show you a little bit of the frying, and then you can check out the finished product. I did quite enjoy them. They did hit the spot, and I will definitely be making these again for sure. I do like the tallow. I think it does seem to. I haven't fried with too many oils before, but the tallow does seem to cooperate really well with the pork panko. It gives it a really good crisp, and I did quite enjoy it, so I was pretty happy with it. Let me know in the comments of this video, if you don't mind, what you guys like to fry anything with that, I don't know if you guys use any of the pork panko, but what you like to fry your pork panko in. I find it a little bit tricky to get it right so that the pork panko doesn't soak up the grease rather than actually fry. Then we're going to go ahead and plate it up, and we'll go ahead and get the Frank's Red Hot dished up and take these guys for a whirl. But it was pretty delicious. We'll plate it up and show you guys the finished product here and see what y'all think. If you could let me know in the comments if you guys use pork panko and what some of your recipes are, or anything that you'd like to see next. I'd sure appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, if you could hit the like button and subscribe and follow, I'd sure appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.